Thank you, Senator, for a very nice introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Westminster City Council, we are honored to be part of this important historical occasion. In 1965, our soldiers, the South Vietnamese Airborne, died alongside our American soldiers as their military transport went down. 4 American soldiers were identified and laid to rest, but the fate of 81 Vietnamese soldiers was unknown. For over 50 years, our 81 Vietnamese Red Beret Angels could not be given a proper burial and could not be honored for their sacrifices. 50 years, their remains were stored in containers until the year of 2017, when Senator Jim Webb, a Vietnam veteran, began his mission to find them a final resting place. Through several years of hard work, negotiation, and establishment of a Lost Soldier Foundation, today, Senator Webb and his team have brought our lost soldier to their final destination here in Westminster. For that, the City Council and I would like to thank Senator Webb for his dedication and commitment to this difficult mission. There is a popular saying that goes, "Home is where the heart is." Westminster is home to the largest population of Vietnamese Americans outside Vietnam. Westminster is home to many American veterans who fought in Vietnam alongside the South Vietnam Army in the name of freedom, democracy, and human rights. Today, I say that our 81 Vietnamese heroes are finally home with their friends and family, because from here on, this community is their family. And I truly believe that since the day they died, over half a century ago, they are never forgotten. They are still in the heart of those who are bound by honor and duty, by what it is called military brotherhood. Like the statue standing behind us here at Freedom Park, our American and South Vietnamese military brothers stood tall and strong together in life. They fought together under the guiding principle of freedom. The bond between them went beyond time and space. The bond that gave our 81 lost angels the opportunity to rest on the same land, that embodies the core ideals of democracy and freedom valued by all those who sacrificed their life in the Vietnam War. It is a compassion and understanding of this military brotherhood that bring our lost soldier home. And today, we welcome them home. Today, thank you. Today, ceremony gives all of us here the privilege of paying formal tribute to these 81 soldiers. It is an opportunity for us to once again witness the true meaning of honor and duty. Let this story be the passion of future generations, and let our children and our children's children be inspired to continue the mission of fighting for freedom. Thank you. And now I would like to say a few words in Vietnamese. Kính thưa tất cả quý vị, thay mặt cho Hội đồng thành phố Westminster, chúng tôi vinh dự có mặt trong buổi lễ đầy ý nghĩa này. Hơn 50 năm trước, 81 thiên thần mũ đỏ của quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa đã ra đi mà không có được một nơi an nghỉ, hay một buổi lễ truy điệu. Trong 2 năm vừa qua, cựu thượng nghị sĩ Jim Webb cũng là một cựu chiến binh, sau nhiều nỗ lực đã có thể mang hài cốt của các anh hùng mũ đỏ này về với cộng đồng chúng ta. Vì lẽ đó, chúng tôi vô cùng cảm kích việc làm của thượng nghị sĩ Jim Webb. Chúng tôi luôn tin tưởng rằng từ ngày các anh nằm xuống cho đến nay, dù đã trải qua hơn một nửa thế kỷ, nhưng các anh vẫn không bị lãng quên trong tâm tư của đồng đội và của đồng minh. Trong tình huynh đệ chi binh thiêng liêng, để ngày hôm nay chúng ta có thể đưa các anh đến nơi an nghỉ cuối cùng, trong tình thân thương của đại gia đình người Việt tị nạn tại hải ngoại. Buổi lễ ngày hôm nay cho chúng ta cơ hội tưởng niệm các anh hùng đã tử nạn vì lý tưởng tự do, và cũng cho thế hệ hậu duệ của chúng tôi một lần nữa hiểu được giá trị đích thực của tinh thần danh dự và trách nhiệm. Đây sẽ là nguồn động lực cho thế hệ chúng tôi tiếp tục vững tin trong sứ mạng tranh đấu cho dân chủ và tự do. Cảm ơn tất cả quý vị. And now may I invite Vice Mayor Kimberly Ho to come up to present a proclamation from the city of Westminster, and may I invite Senator to come to stage.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. I'm Vice Mayor Kimberly Ho. I would like to present this proclamation in remembrance of 81 airborne rangers of the Republic of Vietnam lost soldiers to Senator Jim Webb on this day, October 26, 2019. In the interest of time, I would like to read just the conclusion of the proclamation as follows. Whereas, to Senator Jim Webb, through your work and established Lost Soldiers Foundation nonprofit, the 81 lost soldiers will be laid to rest in the city of Westminster, California, in the largest Vietnamese American cemetery in this great country of America, a country that embodies the core ideals of democracy and freedom, valued by those who perished in the Vietnam War. Now, therefore, I, Mayor, Vice Mayor Kimberly Ho, and Mayor Tree Ta, on behalf of Westminster City Council, Sergio Contreras, Tai Do, and Charlie Chi Nguyen, do hereby proclaim October 26, 2019 as 81 Airborne Rangers of the Republic of Vietnam Lost Soldiers Day in the city of Westminster, in memory of the 81 South Vietnamese lost soldiers, in honor of the sacrifices they made to uphold the values of democracy, human rights, and freedom, and in gratitude for those who dedicated their efforts to bringing our 81 brothers home. I would like to also say, on behalf of the Vietnamese American residents in Westminster, as well as the Vietnamese Americans overseas, we commend you, Senator Jim Webb, for your great work and dedication in bringing our 81 angels with red beret home. Thank you.
It's my privilege now to introduce an individual who is a friend of mine, a highly capable government official who began his professional career as a helicopter pilot in the United States Marine Corps, later became a very successful business person, served on the Defense Business Board for several years, and now is the Secretary of the Navy. He has been a great supporter of the Vietnamese people, and it is my honor to introduce to you Mr. Richard Spencer, Bộ trưởng Hải quân Mỹ, the Secretary of the Navy.
Thank you, Senator Webb and friend Jim Webb. Your efforts to put this all together today will be sung out from many people. And ladies and gentlemen, if you speak to Jim Webb for more than 5 minutes, you'll find out that he has Scots blood. And he will share that with you. And if you know anything about Scots blood, they're a dogged bunch. And when they set their eye on a goal, it gets done, such as here today. When Jim called me up and asked for some help from the Department of the Navy, I said yes for 2 reasons. 1, it's the right thing to do. 2, you don't tell Jim Webb no. I want to thank Fred Smith, another dogged, determined person. His track record speaks for himself, but his generosity and commitment to this cause should not go unsung. Colonel Castanetti, this couldn't be done without you either. Lots of effort, time, and sweat. I want to thank all the veterans here today, but I want to take one moment to say one thing. To the Vietnam era soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, on behalf of the Department of Defense and the United States of America, something we haven't said soon enough or long enough. Thank you for your service and welcome home. I also want to thank the community of Westminster and the many Vietnamese Americans who call this place home. Polly and I are humbled to be here, to join you in grateful recognition for these warriors and to share a prayerful reflection on their sacrifice. We will never know their names of the men we honor today. We'll never know their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, or their stories. We'll never know their loved ones that they left behind, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, wives, and children, who never learned of their fate and never had the opportunity to say goodbye. But we know these soldiers died fighting for freedom and fighting for home. It was a war they did not choose, but it was a war they did not shrink from. They were elite paratroopers, soldiers from the sky, the best from their nation. They fought as our ally, and they died as our brothers. The enemy fire that brought down their C-123 aircraft made no distinction between American crewmen and the 81 Republic of Vietnam paratroopers on board. They were warriors, all of them, geared up, locked up, prepared to deliver. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, prepared to deliver the last full measure of devotion. It's been over a century and a half since Lincoln said those words at Gettysburg. A fall day just like this one, and just like today, there were unknown soldiers among those being honored as dead. Over 1,000 of them are still buried at Gettysburg with simple markers that simply say, unknown. We'll never know their names either, but we know they died fighting for what Lincoln said was a birth of freedom. The same can be said of the 81 we remember here today. And while that freedom would prove to be tragically fleeting in a land of their birth, it lives on in the land of their final rest. For here in California, Texas, Louisiana, Washington, across this great country, the Vietnamese American community has indeed carved out a new birth of freedom. And may these actions help us remember who we are as Americans and who we should aspire to be, a people who respect and never forget those who fight alongside us. And wherever that spirit lives on, so too will the memory of these brave warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, may they rest in peace in the soil of a grateful ally, the home of their brothers in arms. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Richard Spencer, sir.
For many of you in this country, when you hear the word FedEx, you think of Fred Smith. And when you hear the name Fred Smith, you think of FedEx. But let me start by, first of all, saying last night, our staff here was saying, where is Fred Smith tonight? Is he here? Is he come in here yet? Where's the guy? I said, look, he's got 1,000 planes. He could be in China today, but he's going to be here tomorrow. So I would say, when I think Fred Smith, I think of fellow Marine and friend. We have known each other for more than 30 years. And his story, I think, is a great story of American success. When he graduated from Yale University, he went into the Marine Corps. Tuy quân lục chiến ở Quảng Nam. Served with valor as a Marine infantry officer. Upon his return, he created FedEx Company. He has been the chief of FedEx Company for many, many years, and he has been a great supporter of veterans' causes in our country. When we put together the Lost Soldiers Foundation, Fred Smith was the first person to put money into it so that we could have this day to day. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, my fellow Marine, Fred Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kamanum, Kaman Bob. Let me acknowledge the Secretary of the Navy, also a friend. Secretary Spencer, I can assure you, is one of the great public servants in Washington today, and I have the honor of having two grandsons who are under his command, one a recent graduate of the Naval Academy that's now in flight school at Pensacola, and a second one who will graduate next year, who's not quite as smart. He will join the Marine Corps when he graduates, Jim. So thanks for the job you're doing for us, Secretary. It's important work. Jim Webb is, as he said, a friend of mine. And when I think of Jim Webb, one word comes to mind: noble. Jim Webb is a noble man. You don't hear that word often today. one of the great heroes of the Marine Corps of the Vietnam War, although he and the colonel coincidentally served in the same regiment as I did, the famous 5th Marines, but in the much lesser and well-regarded 1st Battalion versus the 3rd, which I served in. Jim, as you know, was Secretary of the Navy. That was a joke, by the way. So, Jim was the Secretary of the Navy and did a great job in my opinion, and set the standards that now Secretary Spencer is following. And so it was no surprise to me that after all of this public service of the Defense Department as a Marine, that he would be the one to justify this injustice, to solve this injustice of these ARVN airborne soldiers being brought to a final place to rest. Like Jim, I'm proud of my service in Vietnam. I spent 2 tours there. I was at Dai Huy, Tri Quan Luc Chien, as it was then. And I'm happy here today to salute these men, comrades in arms. I think about many others of my friends who gave their lives in Vietnam, whose names are on the Vietnam Memorial. In Vietnam, there are 4 schools named for 4 of those friends: Lieutenant Joe Campbell, Lieutenant Jack Ruggles, Father Vincent Capodanno, and Lieutenant Richard Pershing. And so hopefully some good came from those schools in Vietnam and educating a new generation there. But I think about these men every day, just as I'm confident the friends, families, and comrades of these men think about them. And now, thanks to Jim's efforts, they've been brought to a place of final repose where they will receive the respect and honor which they deserve. As the Secretary mentioned, there's a term used by Vietnam veterans to one another when greeting a fellow Vietnam veterans because of the reception we got when we came home, which was certainly different from the situation today. So the only thing I can think of is the famous epitaph on the stone at Thermopylae, where the 300 Greeks stopped hundreds of thousands of Persians and kept the Greek idea of democracy alive for a few more days until they could assemble their forces and push the Persians back. And if you go to Thermopylae, there on a stone, it says, "Traveler, passing by, go tell the Spartans that here, obedient to their laws, we lie." That's what these men did. Obedient to the laws of their homeland, they did their duty. They will now lie in eternal repose, as I said, here in this cemetery, and I'm sure that they will get now the respect which they deserve. And I will just say to them, welcome home, brother.
Many of you know well the story of Mr. Phan Nhật Nam. He served as an airborne officer in the same battalion as the 81 lost ARVN soldiers that we honored today, after which he became South Vietnam's most famous war reporter. Wide respect for his honesty and integrity is what I hear whenever I hear the name Phan Nhật Nam. In 1973, he was South Vietnam's secretary to the Joint Military Committee at the Paris Agreements, which was responsible for negotiating the release of American POWs. The irony of all of that service was that after the fall of South Vietnam, Pham Nhật Nam was sent to re-education camp for 14 years, about 8 of which were in solitary confinement. He is a soldier, he is a writer, he is a highly respected person of integrity, and it's my honor to introduce him today. And it also is my honor to have Vietnam's most famous actress, my good friend Kiều Trinh, who will read certain portions of Pham Nhật Nam's remarks in Vietnamese.
Kính thưa quý quan khách người Việt, trước khi trình bày phần tiếng Việt, cho tôi xin vài câu để nói với cái cử tọa người Mỹ. Ladies and gentlemen, I was the sub-lieutenant of the 72 Company with my complex in 1963 to 1965. Today, after one president of the 15-year war, I presented here by the Vietnamese version, and my own friend, the movie actor, Kiều Trinh, will help me for translating into English. Kính thưa quý quan khách Mỹ Việt, kính thưa quý đồng hương người Việt, kính thưa quý chiến hữu Quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa, quý chiến hữu sư đoàn nhảy dù, gia đình mũ đỏ hải ngoại, quý thân nhân 81 tự sĩ đại đội 72 tiểu đoàn 7 nhảy dù KBC 4919 tại Vũ Đào Ánh, phi trường Bình Hòa. Tôi xin kể câu chuyện. Cuộc hành quân thần phong 7 trong vùng thung lũng Ia Trang, Pleiku với sự tham dự của chiến đoàn đặc nhiệm nhảy dù phối hợp